So today we're going to go through how you would clone your JavaScript workbook so you could have your own copy, and then how you would set it up on your local computer, and then what you're going to do for every project, and also how to complete a pull request. I'm going to post all of these steps inside Rocket Chat, so if you don't want to watch the video every time, you can just follow along. The steps we do in the beginning, everything to get remote-v, that's only going to be once. Everything else you are going to repeat for every project. Okay, first step, you're going to go to the Awesome Coding Academy JavaScript workbook on GitHub and hit that fork button in the upper right corner. Here's the fork button. I actually already have it forked, so all you got to do is fork it. And it'll tell you if you already have a fork of it. So you're going to fork it right here. And this is your copy of it. This means you can mess it up here, and we're not going to mess with Awesome Coding Academy's version. Okay, once you're here, you're going to hit this clone or download, and you're going to use HTTPS and just hit this copy here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our steps, and we're going to create a directory called JSDev as the same level as documents. So here, I'm just going to clear this out. So here I'm on root level. I'm going to make a directory called JSDev. And now if I ls, I can see all of my directories on this level. So JSDev, that's my new directory. I'm going to cd into that. And you can always start typing and hit tab, and it'll finish it out for you. Okay. In JSDev, you're going to get clone and go ahead and paste what you copied here for the HTTPS. I'm going to go ahead and use SSH. If you want to set that up, you totally can. Okay, and this will take just a second. Alright, so now in JSDev, if you do ls, you should see the JavaScript workbook. You want to cd into that JavaScript workbook. And remember, just start typing and then tab in. Okay, great. So now we have it cloned. And remember, GH Pages is our master. Okay, once you're here, you're just going to copy and paste this line, get remote add upstream. And this is in case we make some changes on the Awesome Coding Academy JavaScript workbook. You can pull that down into your local copy. Okay, and then you're going to do get remote -v. Just to confirm, origin should be, you should see your name / JavaScript workbook. Upstream should be Awesome Coding Academy. Just make sure you have this. You don't have to worry too much about what it means. Okay, so GH Pages is your branch, your current branch, and we're going to treat this as master. Okay, so what we've done up to this point, you only have to do once. You never have to repeat. The following you're going to do basically for every project. Every project you're going to create a new branch. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do get status. Just get in the habit of always doing get status. Before you switch branches, you want to make sure you see something like this. Nothing to commit, working tree is clean. This means I haven't altered any files, I'm ready to go. Once I have a clean status, which means you get this message, nothing to commit, working tree is clean, what you're going to do is we're going to make a new branch for our data types. So it's get checkout -b, and this one is going to be called class 1 data types. Okay, this makes a new branch called class 1 data types. And will tell you you've now switched to a new branch called class 1 data types. Awesome. So now if I make changes here, I can push to it without affecting my GH Pages, which is my stable branch. So what you're going to do now is I'm going to open it up. You can open it up in any code editor you want. I'm going to go ahead and open it up in my IDE here. Bear with me. You can open this up in Atom or Sublime Text, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm just going to find that JSDev. I'm going to open it up. Okay, so now here's my JavaScript workbook. I would of course go to my data types because that's what I'm changing, and it's in JavaScripting. And right, they've started us some data types here for us, which is great. I'd have some changes in here, but let's just say I wanted to do, sum of two numbers. I would, do function sum of two numbers, and you guys just copy and paste this from Repellent. The work you've done, you can just feel free to copy and paste this from Repellent, and I would just return sum of two. Okay, so this is my change that I've made. Okay, now if I do get status, okay, here we go. So now I've made a new branch, I've made a change. Remember to click save. You have to save it to be able to see it modified. So made a change, I'm going to save it. Remember, you can just copy and paste what you've done and repel it into this data type.js. Okay, so if we go back to our instructions, okay, made this new branch, I made a change and saved, I'm doing get status. So when you see red, modified means you've changed, but you haven't added yet. So you need to add, and get will tell you, no changes added to commit. Use get add. That's what I want to do. I need to add it to be able to commit. I always like to do explicit add. Try not to do get add -a. You can, but be very careful because you don't want to bring in files that you don't intend to change. We want this pull request to be clean. The only thing that should be changed in this pull request is datatypes.js. So I don't want to commit a change in, say, rock, paper, scissors.js. So be very intentional about what changes you commit. Easiest thing like I do is I just add the actual top level directory, which is a week one. That way, if I accidentally, do make a change to rock, paper, scissors or something else like that, I'm not capturing that. The other thing you can do, just to be safe, is just copy and paste this bad boy and just do get add, paste it. Now, do get status again. This is green. Now it's added. It's staged for a commit. Okay, so we get status, get add, get status. Great. Now we're going to get commit. Okay, and it's get commit -m, and then open your quotations and give it a message. You could do like sum two numbers function. Awesome. Now, if I do get status, working tree is clean. I've committed it. So now, on this commit, Git locally knows that I've made this change. However, we needed to get it in the cloud because we need to protect, if my computer crashes, anything like that, I want to be able to save these changes. So I need to push it to GitHub and let it know that I just pushed. Awesome. So, what I'm now going to do is do git push. So now we commit, now I'm going to do git push. There is no upstream branch. This is okay. Remember, I have this right here. If you don't see it, Git will tell you what's wrong. So basically what this error message is that you've created a branch locally that doesn't exist in the cloud yet. So you just have to copy and paste this, and that way it'll make a new branch now remotely. Just copy and paste it, and boom. This is a successful message. So now, if you go to your GitHub, you'll see this is your data types branch that you just pushed to. Great. You push this data types branch, so your change only exists on this branch. If we want to get it into DH pages, we're going to have to do a pull request. Okay, so it's always smart just to do your pull request on the first commit. That way you have it set up and you can always push to this branch to update the pull request. There's no additional work. So I just go ahead and open the pull request and you'll be good to go. So you're going to go to your repository, so your forked repository. You should not be on Austin Coding Academy repository. It should say your name, your JavaScript, your GitHub name /JavaScript workbook. This is what it should look like. okay? You want it to look exactly like this. It should be under your repository, okay? Cannot stress this enough. Once you see this, you should see your recently pushed branches. You can guess if we're making a pull request. You're going to click Compare and Pull Request. You need to change this because we're not going to merge your new branch into Awesome Coding Academy GH pages. Open this select, and your JavaScript workbook is always going to be the one right underneath Awesome Coding Academy. Select that. Make sure you're merging it into your GH pages. Give it a second to update. You guys can leave this alone. And then before you create, you can see the difference. I already had some data types in there that I merged, so that's totally fine. But here's the difference. You want to make sure that the files changed are, like, for example, datatypes.js for the first data types project. That's the only file that should be changed. So you want to make sure that this is the only file changed. I don't want to see rock, paper, scissors or anything like that. Once I know that's good to go, I'm going to do create pull request. Now I have open pull request. This URL in the address bar, this URL is what you are going to copy and paste into Campus Manager under the assignment that is due. So there'll be a class 1 data types, and you'll copy this link, paste it in there, and then you'll click out, and that'll be able to submit. You'll always submit this pull request link. Okay, so, that's initial, like, cool, I did one function, but, there's a lot of other functions. So let's say that, I wrote another function and I needed to update that pull request. Totally fine. You could write another function and I'm not going to give you the answer, but let's say I wrote another function, right? And I want it to show up on this pull request. Very simple. All you do, go back to the branch that you're on, make your change, save it, do get status. That's what we changed. We're going to get add, copy and paste this guy. That's the only one we want it change, right? And we do get commit, and you can get status, and always get status. Make sure you're on the right step, and get commit. And a message, so now maybe that was evaluate both as true. And then we want to get push. Remember, commit and push as many times as you need to. If you want to do it all at once, that's totally fine, but it's always safe for Get to have this information. You can always retrieve this if Get has this in the code. You can never lose it, so it's always safe to push a lot. Now, if we refresh your pull request, you'll actually see your second commit updated. It's just listening to the branch that you pulled it against. So you can do it that way. Remember, you are going to create a new branch for every project, and every project will have a pull request. Then what I'll do, or what Stephanie will do, is we'll go in and we will comment on your pull request, and we will tell you when to merge. So always leave it open until we tell you to merge. Okay, so that's making a pull request. Now, for every project, you're going to need to make a new branch. So let's say that you come into class and it's time to make rock, paper, scissors, or it's time to do a function, or we have the next project. Okay, well, what you're going to do is right now, to see what branch you're on, do get branch. You'll see your available branches. Whatever branch you're on, you'll see an asterisk next to it. That's your current branch. So now I'm in class 1 data types. But I want to make a new branch called, like, I don't know, class 2. You don't want to make class 2's branch off of class 1. You want to make class 2's branch off of GH pages. All new branches must be made off of GH pages. So the first thing you do is do get status. You want to make sure you get this exact message right here. You want nothing to commit, working tree is clean. Once you do that, now you get checkout back to GH pages. Always, always do this. Okay, now I'm on my master stable branch. once you're there. Now you would make a new branch, which is get checkout-b class 2, or whatever you want to do. That is how you make sure your branches are always based off of your stable branch, not your development branches. So now I'm on a new branch, and if you do get branch, you can see what branch you're on. It's always good to do get branch and get status just to make sure you're in a good spot. Same exact thing before. So we went back to GH pages. It's always good to do get pull just to make sure you bring in any new merges. Get checkout our new branch name. And then from there, it's the exact same thing that we did before. You make a change, you save it, and then you would do get add, get commit, get push. It's always those three things. So if you make sure that you always do get status and make sure you have a working tree, you'll be on point. If you always make sure that before you make a new branch, you switch back to GH pages before you make a new branch, you'll be great. So if I wanted to make another new branch, I could do get checkout, GH pages. I would do get status, just to make sure I have no changes, and then I could make a new branch. And make a new branch is just get checkout-b, whatever branch name I wanted. You could make 1,000 branches. Just always make sure new branches are made off of GH pages. Always, always, always be diligent about that. Okay, now remember, that's pretty much it. And remember, your pull requests, on JavaScript, if you ever, get lost on where to find pull requests, your pull requests are in your JavaScript workbook, forked version, not the Austin Coding Academy, yours. And you can click on this, click on all of them. I have a bunch of open ones. And this URL is what you're going to put in Campus Manager. Okay, I'm going to post this video in all of the steps that we went through. And remember, just make sure you follow these steps exactly for every single branch, and you'll be good to go.